Have you ever thought about opening your own mobile cart or kiosk business? Maybe the facility you manage could establish new revenue by adding coffee, food, or retail services. Cart King International can be the answer to your needs. Cart King is a North American designer and manufacturer of the finest mobile coffee, food, and retail carts and kiosks. Cart King has been working with clients and corporations across North America for 20 years, providing innovative designs, custom manufacturing, and timely delivery. Carts and kiosks are fun, and so are the dozens of designs on our website. Please visit us today at www.cart-king.com or just call us at 1-877-986-7771 and get your sales rolling.
If you find yourself in need of legal representation, it can be a very stressful time in your life. In my career, I have dealt with thousands of lawyers, I've dealt with thousands of law firms, and I can confidently recommend to you Keith M. Davidson at kmdlaw.com. Available 24 hours, 7 days a week. Just log into kmdlaw.com. That's kmdlaw.com. Or you can call toll-free 833-4KMD-LAW. That's 833-4KMD-LAW. Personal injury, wrongful death, STDs, sexual assault, car accidents. They handle it all efficiently and professionally. It doesn't matter how imposing the opposition may be, because the team at kmdlaw.com are battle-tested and fierce. They will not stop until justice prevails. Go to kmdlaw.com or call toll-free 833-4KMD-LAW. If you're in for the fight of your life, stop screwing around and contact KMD Law. PureSoapFlakes.com. 218-568-2525. Have you ever heard of Castile Soap? Pure Soap Flake Company handcrafts fine soap bars, laundry powder, and concentrated soap flakes using organic vegetable oils from their northern Minnesota facility. Bathe your body and wash your clothes with Pure Soap products that are free of fragrance, GMOs, palm oil, sodium lauryl sulfate, and synthetic additives. Keep it clean, folks. Pure Soap Flake Company products are kind to living creatures and sensitive skin, safe for drains and waterways, and work great in high-efficiency washers and top and front-loading machines. They have a little promotion going on. Contact them to order some soap. Mention the Opperman Report. You're going to get a free gift. They're going to sing a little extra soap, travel size, soap bars and laundry soap, cleaning soap flakes. I've been using that stuff all day long today. Great stuff. Order today at puresoapflakes.com or give them a call, 218-568-2525. 218-568-2525. Pure Soap Flake Company is a proud member of the Handcrafted Soap and Cosmetic Guild. Is your credit in bad shape? Do you need a new car? Ready to buy a new house? You want to rent an apartment? Are you going to apply for a job? Any one of these activities, they're going to ask for a credit report and then check out your credit score. Let Dynamic Solutions 2 erase your negative credit remarks. You go to www.dynamicsolutions2, that's the number 2.com, or call 424-888-2820. Now, if you enter promo code ED or you mention Ed Opperman, you get a 10% discount. How's that? You get a free consultation, all negative items removed, get back in positive credit position. Dynamic Solutions 2, life-changing dynamic financial solutions.
It's the Opperman Report. Join digital forensic investigator and PI Ed Opperman for an in-depth discussion of conspiracy theories, strategy of New World Order resistance, high-profile court cases in the news, and interviews with expert guests and authors on these topics and more. It's the Opperman Report. And now, here is investigator Ed Opperman.
Okay, welcome to the Opperman Report. I'm your host, Private Investigator Ed Opperman. You can find me at Opperman Investigations and Digital Forensic Consulting through my website, emailrevealer.com. If you like today's show, check out OppermanReport.com. That's where we have our members section. You go there, check out all our exclusive content. There's like 250 shows in there, documents, videos, pictures, all kinds of great stuff at OppermanReport.com. If you've already previously a member, check your passwords now, see if they're working, because we think everything's all fixed up. If it's not, let me know. Okay. If you want to check out our archives, they're at Spreaker.com, Spreaker.com. You go there for free. You sign up for free. You follow for free. You get an email notification anytime we put out some new content. And you can search for old content just by putting in Opperman, Spreaker, Ted Bundy. Opperman, Spreaker, Epstein. Opperman, Spreaker, Jonestown. And then you'll get all the shows on that topic. You'll find all different kinds of shows. And you can just do that with just regular Google, with Google. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. I'm exhausted. Okay, let's start off with that. Coming up this week, I'm taping this week with Joe Palazzolo and Michael Rothfield. These are two Wall Street Journal columnists. And they just wrote this book called The Fixers, The Bottom Feeders, Crooked Lawyers, Gossip Mongers, and Porn Stars Who Created the 45th President. Okay, and anyway, these guys coming out. I met these guys. I was a source for these guys about the Jeffrey Epstein case a while back. I was sitting down with this attorney, and he says, hey, you should talk to these guys about what you know. These are good guys. And he sends him a text message right in front of me. He goes, hey, you got to talk to this Scrappy PI at Opperman. He's a Scrappy PI. I went home and I wrote on Facebook, hey, somebody today called me a Scrappy PI. So when the book came out, I contacted these guys. I says, hey, man, I'm also a Scrappy radio host. Want to come on my show and talk about your new book? So, boom. They said, yeah, want to come on. We remember. Yeah, thanks for the information. Want to come on the show. And they said, by the way, they listen to the show, and they also follow me on Twitter. So, we got a little influence on the Wall Street Journal there. We're not the old chicken, chop liver, they said. I was going to say chicken soup, but we're not chop liver over here at the Opperman Report. So that's coming up. Hey, I know everybody involved in this story, too. My old agent, Gina Rodriguez, is the one who brokered that deal with Stormy Daniels. And I can't wait to get a copy of the book. They sent me a PDF. I gotta sit down and read it. Same day the book comes out, what happens? Good old Michael Avenatti. Such a small world. He gets arrested. He gets arrested at his California state bar hearing. The guy's out on bail for extortion, all kind of scams this guy's trying to pull. What a lifetime this guy's had of activity. You would not believe. I don't know if half of it's been out there published. But fascinating. By the way, Michael Avenatti tried to sue my client. And a sponsor to this show. KMD Law from Keith Davidson. He tried to sue my client. And then look at him now. Look at him now. What a wonderful guy. Michael Avenatti. It really pisses me off, too, because whenever I say, yeah, I know the attorney who was the original attorney on the Stormy Daniels deal, everybody thinks I'm talking about Michael Avenatti. No way. I would never deal with a guy like that. When we first looked into this character and we saw all the bankruptcy, stealing from clients, stealing from partners, there is nobody that knows this guy that likes him. So I have nothing to do with that guy. You get your facts straight, guys, before you accuse me of being involved with this character. So same day this book comes out about the Stormy Daniels deal, we have Michael Avenatti trying to get his bar license back, and he gets arrested at his bar hearing. They pick him up over there for violating the terms of his bail conditions, which is very common, too. By the way, it's very common, too, that when you're out on bail and you have a hearing, and you pick up new charges or something, something comes up, that they arrest you there at court. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. All right, let's see what else. Hoffenberg, Mr. Stephen Hoffenberg, returned for another segment. I'm also taping with him again tomorrow. But he returned for another segment. You remember he came on the show. The last segment we broadcast was him saying that he believed that Ghislaine Maxwell was dead. She was already dead. He had spoken to some sources and some experts in the case, and he came to the conclusion that Ghislaine Maxwell was dead, already knocked off, and it made sense to me at the time. Since that time, he has been contacted. I guess Maxwell listened to the show. She heard about our show. She heard about the reporting here at the Opperman Report. And through her spokesperson, Goldman, I think her name is Goldman, contacted Hoffenberg, and they spent a great deal of time on the phone this week. Even more than the report you're going to hear, because things are happening so fast. We're compiling so much information so quickly that it's hard to get it out to you in time. I may have to start doing live broadcasts with Hoffenberg because it changes so quickly week to week. But it turns out that Maxwell through her spokesperson, is claiming she's not dead. She says she's alive. We have yet to have an ultimate proof of life yet, so we're waiting for that. But people are working on it. Okay. Tape this week also, too, with this woman named Maggie. It's a pseudonym. Okay, she came on the show using a fake name. It's a very... I know her real name, and I know her real occupation, and I've looked into her background. She's someone, if you Google her real name, comes right up. She's very well respected in her field of employment, her career, her profession, and a world traveler involved with a lot of projects all across the world, won awards and acclamations and accolades. Very credible woman. And she tells a story about when she was a middle schooler in San Francisco, how she had a friend who one day, who was, disheveled all the time, wore the same clothes every day, lived in disturbing conditions, and his friend one day appeared from her father's bedroom saying, "Look at this. This is a satanic Bible. And we're Satanists." And my dad takes me to these. My dad knows Anton LaVey, and I go to these ceremonies where I have sex with grown men. So we have her coming on the show, taping this week. I taped a couple of shows this week that. A couple of things this week that got accidentally deleted, or the guest later had started putting conditions on the things that I had recorded with them. So we're short of content. I may be doing a live show on Saturday evening. I'm going to be taping again with Hoffenberg. We'll probably play that on Saturday evening. And then I have this professor, I think it's Kaislak or something like that. Let me have that handy here. About a fascinating book, School World Order. It's a very good book. Brilliant guy, too. I really enjoyed my time speaking with him. Let me see if I can find his name real quick. Pull it up here. What a week. I'm so tired you have no idea. Okay, I found him. See how quickly this opens up. Klysek. Jack Klysek. He's or John Klysek, I think it was. And he's a professor. Wrote the book School World Order, about how our schools are being turned into these corporate training grounds for capitalists to enslave us. I'm working on getting a presidential candidate, Tom Steyer, as a guest on the show. And it's very likely that will happen, okay? Not that I have any interest in the guy, but, he's a presidential candidate, he's got a lot of money, drop us a donation or something like that, advertise on the show. So we're going to try and get him on the show. I'm not really trying. It's in the works. We can get him if we want him. And have him come on the show. Maybe not for a full hour, I'm sure of that, but, good 20-minute. And you know me, I kind of disarm people, get them to start talking. Which reminds me, too, remember when he was always trying to shake hands with Bernie at the end of the debate there, and Bernie just blows him off, Bernie, I just wanted to say hi. What? Good. Hey, you, give me your wallet. Yeah, get out of here. I think that whole thing was staged, by the way. That whole thing with Elizabeth Warren from the very start. What happened was prior to the debate, CNN claims that they did some reporting where on a private meeting between Warren and Sanders, where Sanders claims during this meeting, "I don't believe a woman could ever win presidents." Okay. Meanwhile, ridiculous comment. He was even willing to support Warren for president, but she said she wasn't running. And even the CNN reporting is reporting on statements coming from people who were not at the meeting. These are people that Warren came out and told other people a story, and then they tell the story to CNN. And this is CNN's reporting. If you look at, you don't even have to listen to me. If you look at Warren's history, she has a history of making things up and lying. Lying about her family, her heritage, her nationality, all kinds of stuff. So I believe she was in cahoots with CNN from the start, just like Donna Brazile was in the last election cycle. And that whole event at the end with the hot mic was all staged. That's my opinion. Okay, and I just, it's just an opinion is equal to your opinion, anybody's opinion. I don't have any inside information on that, but that's what I'm sharing with you today, my opinion. You know, very rarely do I get my opinion on it. It's usually I have some kind of facts that back me up, some firsthand knowledge. You know, like so far everything I talked about, Navanati, this Stormy Daniels deal, Hoffenberg, all stuff firsthand. You know, I'm dealing with. Okay, let's see. Check the time. Woo! 15 minutes down the drain. My goodness. Well, got a lot going on, guys. Okay, got a lot going on, guys. Yeah, I wish I could take all the thoughts and emotions that are in my head and just somehow plot it, just drop it on your lap there and let you see and feel what I'm going through. Because it's really intense stuff, you know. I'm trying to get ready for this move, and I'm so out of shape. So I went swimming this morning to try and get back in shape so I can pack and move and drive cross country, trying to scramble to get money together. Got a lot of problems because I don't have Victoria's tuition. Okay, first of all, her tuition payment coming up. I don't have it. She doesn't have it. We applied for one loan and it got turned down. So we applied again with a different cosigner. My father signed as a cosigner, and we're going to see if that comes through. Plus, I got this moving expenses I got to put together. Okay. Now, I went out to my loyal audience and I says, hey, you know, we're in trouble here. We need help. And raised $5. Okay. And after I complained about that, I said, hey, we only raised $5. I think we came up, another 10 people came up with some contributions to keep us on the air. So I want to make it clear to you, you know, what the situation is. Okay. Is, the way I look at this right now is, I work for you. If you're listening to the show, I work for you. Okay? Now, forget the sponsors who sponsor the show, all that kind of stuff like that, and Spreaker that pays me a couple of pennies, and YouTube and all that nonsense there. I work for the people who listen to the show. And I fund this on my own. Because we're not breaking even on this airtime stuff. But we can easily come to a point where if you can't finance this show, if you don't find this information valuable enough that you want to keep it continuing in your life, and I have to seek outside funding, the kind of people that are going to fund me to continue this, okay, are not going to allow me to say certain things. They're not going to allow me to say right now. Some of the people I'm talking to are not going to allow me to say any of the Trump stuff I say right now. Forget that'll be out the window. Okay, you'll never hear any of that. I'll be just like the National Enquirer or Radar Online or those kind of outlets, okay? So if that's, you know, it's up to you to maintain it. And don't tell me I'm selling out, okay? Because I'm here coming to you. I'm coming to you first. You want to hire me? You want to keep me working for you? We need funding. And we can fund that by going to OppermanReport.com. There's a donate button. Or if you got a small business or event, a website, something like that you want to promote, the advertising is very, very inexpensive. So you can keep us on the air. You can keep me here in business with either supporting the show through advertising, a membership at OppermanReport.com where you have access to exclusive content, or through a straight donation. And all those opportunities available to you. You can reach me through OppermanReport.com. Now, we're trying different things. Spreaker, by the way, the Spreaker income has dropped 60%. And I don't think that's a coincidence, okay? I think that there's forces out there that are trying to agitate me and cause me a lot of problems and try to cause me distraction and unable to meet my bills, especially in times of distress like I'm in right now when I'm in the middle of a move and my kids in college and stuff. All right, Spreaker income dropped 60%. There's no explanation for it. They have no way to explain to me why that is. Oh, brother, there's freaking noise outside, bastards. I hate this place. I gotta pause. Oh boy. Okay, so I've been sitting here for about a half hour waiting for these leaf blowers outside to die down. And literally every time I went back to turn the recording back on, they started back up again. Because it gets quiet. As soon as I start about to hit the button. Anyway. Okay, so what I was talking about here was about how I work for you and how things are over here. Now, I don't even know where to go with this. I'm trying to get back in shape so I got to do all this moving and I got to drive cross country. 57 years old, so, it's physical thing there, you know. So I went swimming today, right? So many memories coming back. You know, I tell you, if I could just really tell the real story of my life, I know I tell you a lot of personal stuff, but just that Whitney Ranch swimming pool, you know, has so many memories to me. And I can remember the first time I took Vic swimming there, and when she first, you know, could swim 10 laps, then 30 laps, you know, and when finally she could swim a mile, and I was swimming 3 miles, and I would go there and I would work and train for different things, and my divorce, you know, all the time. It reminds me so much of my relationship with my daughter, swimming in that pool. And, you know, when we would get out of the pool and she would go to her locker and I would go to my locker, we never say goodbye. We always say, I love you. I love you. You know, like that's like our goodbye, to say I love you, you know. And so just, I haven't been in there for a long time, and it just brought back so much emotions and memories and stuff like that for me today. So much of the struggle that I'm going through. And then I'm driving home, right? And there's this off-ramp off the 215 to get onto Green Valley Parkway. And about 6 or 7 times, some days 3, 4, 5 days in a row, there's a car stalled right there at that off-ramp. And I start noticing this. I says, you know what, man? You know, man, if someone wanted to kill me, man, they could put a car bomb right there and blow me up, or, you know, right there. That's the spot to do it, man. I could go by here every day. And I was going by there yesterday morning. And there was a white pickup truck with the bed covered, stalled right there with the hazard lights on. And for some freaking reason, the car in front of me positioned itself, stopped like a couple of car lengths before the red light, so that I was right there next to this car. And I just sat there, man. I said, this is it, man. This is it. This is it. You know, there's very few occasions in my life when I really felt that the hammer was about to come down on me than I did right then, there, and there. You know, and there's for good reason, though, man. I know you got a lot of these YouTubers out there, you know, rambling on their nonsense. And a lot of people think that the work I'm doing is equivalent to that, because we're both talking into a microphone. A lot of times, you know, you can find my show on YouTube as well. But, guys, I'm really deeply involved in a lot of this stuff I tell you about. You know, I can't tell you about everything I know. And I wish I could, you know. I really wish I could. But there's so many limitations that I have. But at least how we have it right now is that you're funding me. You're supporting me. So my loyalty is to you, 100%. I can come here and tell you the truth. And if I lose this avenue of funding, and a big company comes in and starts sponsoring the show and producing my podcast for me, and I'm talking like a big media company I'm talking to, okay? Comes in and takes over the show, and I'm working for them. There's a lot of stuff that I won't be able to talk about. And not even because, you know, I'll be working for them and I'll be giving this info. It's just because they'll say, Ed, you can't talk about that because we don't want to get sued. And they'll even make me delete stuff that's in the archives. So, yeah, I don't want to do that, guys. I don't want to do that, you know. But what am I going to do? You know, you're not helping me. You're not helping me, guys. You know, and then, you know, I can get 10,000 comments and 10,000 complaints, 10,000 emails every day. Hey, Ed, I hate to bother you, but I got this question for you. Hey, Ed, I hate to bother you. You know, okay, fine. You know, then don't bother me, you know. But when I need support for the show, when I tell you we can't make the tuition for my kid, you know, help me out, man, when I have to come on here and ask for money. We raised $5. And then on top of that, after that, like 10 people donated after that. You know, after I have to come back and complain a second time. Hey, when I'm living here, and I'm telling you, but I'm worried I'm going to get blown up in a car bomb. That's what I do. Reality, guys, not this fantasy stuff you hear these guys, you know. Oh, the NSA is following me out, a targeted individual. I'm talking real serious stuff for real reasons. I know stuff, guys, that I can't talk about, but that it affects. Hey, anyway, I give up. I really do. I really, really do. Well, by the way, today they're meeting about the TV show, so who knows? That would be great, right? So far, I would have a lot of control over that, but and it wouldn't affect this thing at all. You know, plus we get new listeners and book buyers and all kind of stuff like that. So we'll be hearing more about that today. Maybe I'll hear about it by the time this airs tonight, and I'll be able to come on live and give a little addendum, a little update. Let's play a commercial break. And now a word from our sponsors. If you find yourself in need of legal representation, it can be a very stressful time in your life. In my career, I have dealt with thousands of lawyers, I've dealt with thousands of law firms, and I can confidently recommend to you Keith M. Davidson at kmdlaw.com. Available 24 hours, 7 days a week. Just log into kmdlaw.com. That's kmdlaw.com. Or you can call toll-free 833-4KMD-LAW. That's 833-4KMD-LAW. Personal injury, wrongful death, STDs, sexual assault, car accidents. They handle it all efficiently and professionally. It doesn't matter how imposing the opposition may be, because the team at kmdlaw.com are battle-tested and fierce. They will not stop until justice prevails. Go to kmdlaw.com or call toll-free 833-4KMD-LAW. If you're in for the fight of your life, stop screwing around and contact KMD Law.
Are you ready to change your life, but don't know how to start? Is your stress and worries keeping you awake at night? Have you been battling grief, anxiety, or depression all alone? Have you lost touch with your own sense of being or spirituality? Soul Free Therapies offers professional and affordable live video streaming counseling and coaching services from the comfort of your own home. Sessions offered in English, Spanish, and Portuguese. Go to our website at www.soul-free.com and book your first session today.
Hey, check out our brand new sponsor, Dynamic Solutions 2. That's the number 2. They offer a life-changing, dynamic financial solution. The finest in fast, professional, affordable credit repair. Is your credit in bad shape? Do you need a new car? Ready to buy a new house? You want to rent an apartment? Are you going to apply for a job? Any one of these activities, they're going to ask for a credit report and then check out your credit score. Let Dynamic Solutions 2 erase your negative credit remarks. They have affordable monthly prices. They accept Visa, MasterCard, PayPal options available. You go to www.dynamicsolutions, that's the number 2.com, or call 424-888-2820. 424-888-2820. Now, if you enter promo code ED or you mention Ed Opperman, you get a 10% discount. How's that? You get a free consultation, all negative items removed, get back in positive credit position. Dynamic Solutions 2, life-changing dynamic financial solutions. 424-888-2820. Tell them Ed Opperman sent you. You get a 10% discount. PureSoapFlakes.com, 218-568-2525. Have you ever heard of Castile Soap? Pure Soap Flake Company handcrafts fine soap bars, laundry powder, and concentrated soap flakes using organic vegetable oils from their northern Minnesota facility. Bathe your body and wash your clothes with pure soap products that are free of fragrance, GMOs, palm oil, sodium lauryl sulfate, and synthetic additives. Keep it clean, folks. Pure Soap Flake Company products are kind to living creatures and sensitive skin, safe for drains and waterways, and work great in high-efficiency washers and top and front-loading machines. They have a little promotion going on. Contact them to order some soap. Mention the Opperman Report. You're going to get a free gift. They're going to send a little extra soap, travel size, soap bars and laundry soap, cleaning soap flakes. I've been using that stuff all day long today. Great stuff. Order today at puresoapflakes.com or give them a call, 218-568-2525, 218-568-2525. Pure Soap Flake Company is a proud member of the Handcrafted Soap and Cosmetic Guild.
It's the Opperman Report. And now, here is investigator Ed Opperman.
Okay, welcome back to the Opperman Report. I'm your host, private investigator Ed Opperman. You know, another way you can help is support the show is you can donate to Victoria Opperman GoFundMe. Help Victoria Opperman get to college GoFundMe. And so if you're more, a lot of people are interested in my personal life. We're kind of personal friends through the show and stuff like that. And everyone knows what a gifted kid my daughter is and how much potential she has. Especially if you've been listening to the show for 7 years. When she used to come on the show, she had her own show. So if you want to support her efforts to stay in this school, okay, because we just applied for a loan. We got turned down. We replied again with a different cosigner. We're hoping it goes through. Help Victoria Opperman get to college. GoFundMe. Another way, too, is by supporting our sponsors, by keeping them in business, If you got credit repair problems, contact dynamicsolutions2.com. And at least contact them for a free consultation. I'm telling you guys, this guy Donnie Mays knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's doing. And you get personal attention. You tell me a friend of mine, they'll take care of you. If you need soap, PureSoapFlakes.com is a great product. This is really good stuff. It's not like a waste of money or a novelty. This is really, really good product. You wash your pots and pans and this stuff. You take a bath and this stuff. It's great stuff. I wouldn't tell you if it wasn't. And then KMD Law Firm. Okay, you got a personal injury case, an accident, anything like that? Contact them. But even better, contact me. I'll put together the case for you for free. Okay, I'll put together a case summary for you and present it to them. Then they know the jobs are coming from us, and they'll keep sponsoring the show. Okay? Or if you call them up directly, just say, hey, Ed Opperman sent me. Good old Ed Opperman. Okay? Anyway, what was I talking about? Who knows? I'm so tired. I just want this day to be over. I want this move to be over. So today, this week, another thing that came up was George Nader. Now, George Nader first hit the news because Mueller was investigating him because he was sent to the Seychelles Island to meet with Eric Prince and this Russian oligarch on behalf of Donald Trump. And as soon as his name came up, the first people to do a show about this and discuss this was myself and Pierce Redmond when we discovered that he had these child porn arrest and a child sex abuse conviction. I believe it was in Germany or Eastern Europe, something like that. A very fascinating guy. Was negotiating with Khomeini and stuff like that. A lot of different connections with the Arab Emirates, with this other pedophile too, by the way, with the AEU. The United Arab Emirates, I believe it is. Okay, anyway. Oh, boy. Now, turns out that this George Nader guy, he had this arrest for possession of child porn, but it got dismissed. They dropped the charges based on a technicality, a legal maneuver, okay? Due to the search warrant, which is valid, You got a criminal defendant, you got a invalid search warrant. The guy's got rights, even though, he's a creep. Has connections, got his way out of that. But the thing is, you got an arrest for child porn, you got a conviction for raping little boys. This guy was able to get into the White House to meet with Flynn, General Flynn. He met with Kushner, Jared Kushner, Steve Bannon, and there was one more. Oh, man. Flynn, Bannon, Kushner. Anyway, he met with that bunch. And some other ones, too, in the White House. Now, any high-level meeting, first of all, in order to get into the White House, you have to give them your name, your date of birth. They run you for a criminal background check. Okay? And any high-level meeting with people at a certain level, they got to run a cursory little background report on, a little credit report. They're going to see who you are, what you're like, and are you serious enough to be meeting with? There's no way on earth that prior to this meeting that General Flynn didn't run a complete background check on this guy and know about this criminal conviction, know about this arrest. Just didn't happen. He was provided with that report. Maybe he didn't read it or whatever. I'm sure someone would have brought it to his attention. General Flynn, there's something here you want to look at. Okay? I can't. Otherwise, that guy should be fired. Okay? There's no way that happened. So this cast of characters knew about Nader's background and his proclivities. They looked the other way. They didn't mind. They continued operating with him. Nader gets picked up by Mueller. They want to talk to him about this trip to the Seychelles Island with Eric Prince and this other character. They take his cell phones and some of his stuff like that. They go and examine his equipment. They pick him up a second time on his way to Mar-a-Lago. And in that phone that he had on his way to Mar-a-Lago was child pornography. Now, some of this child pornography, people think child pornography, some of this was so disturbing. There was a young little boy, toddler, like 4 years old, having sex with a goat, okay, an animal. So this isn't some guy who likes preteen porn, innocent kind of guy, cute girl. None of that, okay? None of that. This is serious, extreme perversion, sickness. Now, for some reason, our news media, when they give you that list of all the people that have been arrested due to the Mueller investigation, George Nader is never included on that list. Never, ever, not even once. He's in a separate category that he's not included in that list. We have a list of Trump associates. Mueller investigates them. They get arrested for lying to the FBI. They get arrested for tax things, not registering as an agent, foreign agent. All these things, unrelated, they list them. But this guy gets a pass. Never mention him. And it turns out I don't want to be one-sided because this guy's got connections, too, to the Clintons as well. So, in fact, the charges he originally got picked up on were related to illegal campaign donations to the Clintons. So don't think by any chance that I'm some kind of fan of the Clintons or I'm some kind of fan of Obama because I report to you that this guy was deeply involved with the Trump administration, met with the high levels of the Trump people, including his national security advisor, General Flynn, and was on his way to Mar-a-Lago with child porn. Okay. He was also deeply involved with the Clintons, possibly Obama too. Okay. My point is, why isn't this guy on the list? He pleads guilty this week. It looks like he's going to get about 30 years. Okay? Within hours, not even a full day later, General Flynn withdraws his guilty plea. How do you like that? What was Flynn waiting for? Why did this instigate him to withdraw his guilty plea? Flynn had to be worried about something else. Another hammer dropping down on him. And he was just waiting. And when he saw that maybe that Nader wasn't making a deal against him, that Nader had not made a deal, now he decides he wants to withdraw his guilty plea. That's what it seems to be to me. That's what it seems to be going on. I've been involved in a lot of criminal defense cases over the years, since I was a young man, 19 years old. And conspiracy cases, RICO cases, organized crime cases. And one of the things that they'll do is you'll have a guy, he was part of the group, but then he decides he's going to flip, he's going to become an informant on the rest of the group. So they have something called a free talk where all the defense attorneys will meet with the prosecutors and they're all in this room and all question this guy and open questions prior to trial. And what you'll do is let's say this guy is going to rat out the boss on a cocaine deal. So he agrees with the prosecution. He's going to tell them the truth about everything he knows. So the defense attorneys will dig up some dirt and say, hey, your brother-in-law, isn't your brother-in-law involved in a stolen car ring? Hey, what about your accountant? Doesn't your accountant help you launder your drug money? So this guy now who's sitting there just thinks, well, I'm going to rat out this one guy, and I'm going to keep my head down in jail. I'm going to do 18 months. I'm going to get out. Now finds out that all his friends and all his relatives and all these guys that maybe he's scared of, that their names are coming up too. See, people don't realize that when they're going down that road. And it seems to me that's the kind of thing that went on here that's going on. Because these are plea negotiations that everyone's involved in here. They're all negotiated criminal sentences, all of them. Stone, Manafort, Flynn. We've never had this many people getting busted in a White House before, in an administration, going to prison left and right, man, for all these different charges. Okay, real quick, because I got a lot of stuff here. Let me just put a pause here, and then we'll get to it. Okay, last but not least, there was an interesting story that came out this week about Lev Parnas. All right, this is one of these Ukrainian guys that was working for Rudy Giuliani. And the thing is, Parnas, we looked this up real fast, surveillance. He was doing surveillance on this ambassador over there in Ukraine. And it came out, because he came out now and he did this interview with Rachel Maddow, and he's done a ton of interviews with everybody all over the planet. And it came up, these text messages come up with this character named Hyde, who was a Trump Hotel gadfly hanging out with Roger Stone and those kind of characters, that was over there in Ukraine. And they're claiming that in doing a surveillance on one of our ambassadors over there that got kicked out at the direction of Rudy Giuliani. And when you read these texts, it looks very sinister, as if they're plotting to murder this woman. Okay? And Parnas does these interviews, and he says, no. That guy Hyde, he's not reliable. He's drunk all the time. He's a little crazy. He's a little weird. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. You want to think, well, this is a bridge too far. I believe, that maybe Trump withheld the money, the aid to Ukraine, and maybe he lies here and he lies there, and I don't like his tweets, and he's a racist. But they're not going to do a murder. They're not going to murder this ambassador. Rudy Giuliani would never go that. He's the mayor, former SDNY prosecutor. He's not going to go around doing hits and murders and stuff like that. Although, look at 9/11. Okay, the guy was up to his neck in that. Right? There's a little known story. And I can't tell you everything I know about this story, but I know enough about it that I can talk about it. And I'm going to play a tape of it, about it. If you go back and listen to one of the first shows I did with retired NYP detective Jim Rothstein, I think it was the first interview I did with him, we started talking about this little-known story about Leroy Nicky Barnes, who was this 1970s New York City heroin dealer. And Nicky Barnes, I know a little bit about this because a friend of mine was the police officer who arrested Nicky Barnes for bribery. So I know a lot about this story. And what happened was with Nicky Barnes was, and if you watch the movie, I think it's called Gangster, American Gangster, with that kid Denzel Washington, they try and make Frank Lucas to be the big shot. Nicky Barnes, no, it's the other way around. Nicky Barnes was running things back in those days. All right. And it's a really funny story. The whole bribery story is really funny. I can't tell the whole thing because it's private. But it's a hysterical story about how Nicky Barnes was, just dug himself deeper and deeper and deeper all night long. But what happened was Nicky Barnes gets busted for his heroin operation, and he's sitting in prison. And he's trying to run his operation from inside the prison. He's got his guys outside. They're still working the company there. And people start to betray him. And he finds out that his ex-partners are out there sleeping with his ex-wife and his ex-girlfriends. They're driving his cars. And they're not kicking up the money the correct way. And they're taking over his business. So what he tries to do is he tries to get a couple of his guys, loyal hitmen, and he sends them into the nightclub there, and he says, I want you to go in there and kill my enemies. But instead of doing that, instead of going there and killing the enemies, they go in there and they sit down with the enemies, and they sit down and they start eating and drinking with them, partying with them, instead of killing them. So Nicky Barnes has nowhere to turn. So I want you to listen to this carefully. I'm going to play it for you. Let's see if it's set up.
William Tendy is executive U.S. attorney in the Southern District of New York. The call to him was made by Barnes from the Terre Haute Federal Prison in Indiana.
Tell me what it is you have in mind.
They were a couple of friends of mine that were supposed to be doing things for me,
Yeah.
And well, they're doing things against me, really.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no way to reach out to get to them, and I want to get back at them, really.
Mm-hmm.
That's my primary reason.
Were you surprised that he was going to do it?
I was surprised that a person like Nicky Barnes would do it, but when I ultimately found out the reason why he was doing these things, it made sense to me.
For Barnes' cooperation, he has now gained many supporters in the Justice Department.
Okay, now did you catch that? Nicky Barnes calls SDNY, which was Rudy Giuliani's office at the time, and he reaches out to this investigator, and he says, there's guys out there that are supposed to be doing things for me, but they're doing things against me. I got no one to reach out to over there, so I'm coming to you. And that's why I want to make a deal with you and become a cooperating witness for you. So they cut the deal. He becomes a cooperating witness for SDNY, Southern District of New York, which was run by Rudy Giuliani's. Rudy Giuliani was the Attorney General, prosecutor. What happens a couple of weeks after that conversation? After they cut that deal? That same nightclub, Nicky Barnes' enemies are sitting at that same table. But this time, and remember Barnes said, I got no one to reach out to. The guys are supposed to be doing things for me are doing things against me. I got no one to reach out to. I'm reaching out to you. A couple of weeks later, same nightclub, same table, same enemies. This time, 2 white guys come in and shoot up that table and kill Nicky Barnes' enemies. And here's what Rudy Giuliani had to say about it at the time.
Department who want to see him eventually released. One of those is Rudolph Giuliani, now U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, whose office prosecuted most of the cases that resulted from Barnes' testimony. We talked to Giuliani in front of Jagazzi's in Harlem, a former Barnes hangout.
I think he should be given credit for his having cooperated with the government to encourage others to come forward and cooperate and bust up these operations. He essentially what should happen with him, in my view, is at some point he should be permitted to be released from prison. At some point,
We talked to old pals of his who are now in Lewisburg prison. They said, "Listen, he's a snitch. He'll be on the street in no time." They really believe that the only reason that he did it was not because he got religion, but because he wants to get on the street and that you're going to help him do just that.
I think that the realistic situation here has to be that when people turn in, organizations like this account for 50 people being convicted. Everyone he's testified against has been convicted and their cases have been upheld on appeal. There has to be some reward for that. That's the only way we can combat this kind of activity.
In fact, the Justice Department has rewarded informants in the past with freedom.
Okay, you get what I'm you get what I'm putting down? You're picking up what I'm putting down here, guys? Okay, so one more time, just to reiterate, okay? You have Nicky Barnes sitting in prison. He has no one to reach out to. He says in a recorded phone call, I have no one to reach out to help me. The people I have on the outside are supposed to be doing things for me or doing things against me. That's why I'm coming to you. I'm willing to give you information on my enemies, but I got this one little problem I need you to take care of for me. So people who think it's far-fetched that these people would be involved in something as dirty and hands-on as assassinating this woman ambassador to get her out of the way to do their deals that they want to get done over there. It is not. It is not. And people who think that Rudy's the crime fighter, and also remember, Rudy Giuliani was the counsel for Tower Financial, which was the company, the Ponzi scheme company run by Stephen Hoffenberg. And when the hammer came down on them, the partner of Jeffrey Epstein, when the hammer came down, Rudy Giuliani sided with Epstein and betrayed Hoffenberg. Now, also, too, you might look back, Rudy Giuliani, the crime fighter in New York City. By the way, I've met Rudy Giuliani many, many times. He would remember me if he saw me today. I dealt with him when I was on the defense in the old organized crime cases back in the late 80s. Early 80s, I guess it was. Was it early 80s? Who knows? The old Pizza Commission and the Pizza Connection and the Commission trial and all kind of Persico trial, all those cases. Always Rudy Giuliani at the other end of those. And so he knew me by face and by name back then as a young kid. Met him again later on when he was running for mayor through Bo Dietl and Raoul Felder. So I'm no stranger to these people. I was contacted again. There's no doubt in my mind he was part of this during the first one of the debates, October 19th debate, right after the, the Access Hollywood tape came out, the recording of Donald Trump. There was a debate. And from that location, the Intrepid Museum, which is run by the Fisher Foundation, which employed Keith Schiller, Trump's bodyguard. I did work for him. And Rudy Giuliani was there. Roger Stone was there. Who was there? Paula Jones was there. By the way, Paula Jones also, we had the same agent, Gina Rodriguez, who did the deal with Stormy Daniels. So I knew her for years. Kathleen Willey, Juanita Broderick, all these people are there. Even that woman, Ambassador Stevens' ex-fiance. Everyone's in that room together, and they're contacting me to contact someone involving opposition research for Donald Trump's campaign. So these aren't people that I'm unfamiliar with. Okay, Rudy Giuliani also too was very. He did this big crackdown on strip clubs in New York City, And all the strip clubs he would crack down on were these run by certain organized crime families. But there was one certain organized crime family that had no problem with their strip clubs whatsoever. They were allowed to operate with impunity. Open late, past hours, an activity going on there, every kind of shenanigans. Not that I would know what was on in those horrible places at the time. Okay? But, this is common knowledge amongst people. I was in the nightclub business around this time in New York City. I understand how things work. Okay? So I understand how these kind of things work. So, Lev Parnas, do I believe him? I have certain indications. There's certain indicators when he talks that indicate deception. Okay, but that's not unusual with witnesses, especially when you have a witness who's a defendant who's trying to. They minimize their own involvement and their own guilt. And I believe this portion of his testimony where he's saying that, he was just being drunk. We weren't involved in any assassination plot. I don't believe him there for 1 second. I believe he was well aware what was going on with that assassination plot. 100%. I don't buy that at all. Okay? Certain other things he says when he says, well, we had conversations. It was very heated. People don't really talk that way. They'll elaborate on what the conversation was. People have really good memory when it was heated conversations between different parties and stuff like that. There's so much connection. Trump's trying to say that he doesn't know this Lev Parnas, he wasn't involved. But Trump produced a letter, a release, to his attorneys, allowing his attorneys to work, Dowd, to work for Lev Parnas. So he had to have known who Lev Parnas was in order to sign this release of a conflict of interest for Trump's attorney to work for both parties. So, guys, there's a lot of documentation here, okay, that if this was a legit trial in the Senate, Trump's done, he's convicted, he's impeached, he's removed from office. That could still happen, okay? That could still happen because there's more than enough dirt here to go around, including what appears to be an assassination plot by someone who has a history of that same kind of plot. Now, listen, guys, listen. Go Google and research. Go on 4chan. Go on Reddit. Find anybody who can tell you that story about Nicky Barnes. Okay? Find anybody else talking about that. Well, if you go back and find my interview with Jim Rossi, he knew the story. Okay? Because every cop his age in New York, okay, was at that level, detective level, knows that story. Anybody involved with Manhattan drug dealing, Nicky Barnes, those guys, everybody knows that story. Okay? Because it's out there. It's real. All right? So, but try and find it on your Reddit or your Google or your Twitter. Oh, by the way, I can give you I had a whole bunch of interactions with some real Twitter characters in the past month. I'd love to tell you about this nonsense going on around there. People stealing my work and then lying about it. And then avoiding me and lying about me. Bunch of you-know-whats. Hey, so listen, oh man, I'm pouring my heart out to you. I'm trying to work for you. I want to work for you. I want to tell you this stuff. A year from now, okay, I could be working for some big media group and I said, you can't tell that story. Rudy Giuliani will sue us. Besides, Rudy's with us. He's friends with so-and-so. You can't touch Rudy, Ed. Come on. Tell us a different story tonight. Tell them about the time you went fishing. Okay? All right? Is that what you want, man? Is that what you want? I'm trying to tell you what I know. You got to support the show. You go to OppermanReport.com. I need your help this month. I need your help this month. I need your help this month. We got Victorious Tuition. We can't pay it. We don't have it. We're trying to borrow it, and they turned us down. We've got another effort there, but, we don't have it. Advertise on the show. I'll give you a great deal. You have no idea how cheap it is. You get so much exposure. It's insane. Otherwise, use our sponsors, man. You got a lawsuit, contact me. I'll put together your lawsuit for you. Present it to kmdlaw.com. We'll get it out there. I need some soap. Credit repair. These credit repair guys are the real deal. They know what they're doing. I talked to them off the air. All right, guys, thank you so much. OppermanReport@gmail.com. You want to make a donation, God bless you. Good night. And now a word from our sponsors. OppermanReport.com. Hey, do you like what you're hearing? Do you like the work that you see us doing here at Opperman Report? You can support that work by becoming a member at OppermanReport.com. And as you have access to over 200 exclusive shows and interviews that you can't find on YouTube or Spreaker or iHeart or iTunes or KYAH. You can't find them anywhere else online, exclusive to our member sections, to our members. Also, too, there's images, videos, documents, court docs. And don't forget, you can hear your ad played here on the Opperman Report, reach hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people on a daily basis because the show is repeated every day all over the world. Contact me at oppermanreport@gmail.com and I'll give you a good deal on advertising rates.
Have you ever thought about opening your own mobile cart or kiosk business? Maybe the facility you manage could establish new revenue by adding coffee, food, or retail services. Cart King International can be the answer to your needs. Cart King is a North American designer and manufacturer of the finest mobile coffee, food, and retail carts and kiosks. Cart King has been working with clients and corporations across North America for 20 years, providing innovative designs, custom manufacturing, and timely delivery. Carts and kiosks are fun, and so are the dozens of designs on our website. Please visit us today at www.cart-king.com or just call us at 1-877-986-7771 and get your sales rolling.
Is your credit in bad shape? Do you need a new car? Ready to buy a new house? You want to rent an apartment? Are you going to apply for a job? Any one of these activities, they're going to ask for a credit report and then check out your credit score. Let Dynamic Solutions 2 erase your negative credit remarks. They offer a life-changing, dynamic financial solution. The finest in fast, professional, affordable credit repair. They have affordable monthly prices. They accept Visa, MasterCard, PayPal options available. You go to www.dynamicsolutions2, that's the number 2.com, or call 424-888-2820. Now, if you enter promo code ED or you mention Ed Opperman, you get a 10% discount. How's that? You get a free consultation, all negative items removed, get back in positive credit position. Dynamic Solutions 2, life-changing dynamic financial solutions.
Are you ready to change your life, but don't know how to start? Is your stress and worries keeping you awake at night? Have you been battling grief, anxiety, or depression all alone? Have you lost touch with your own sense of being or spirituality? Soul Free Therapies offers professional and affordable live video streaming counseling and coaching services from the comfort of your own home. Sessions offered in English, Spanish, and Portuguese. Go to our website at www.soul-free.com and book your first session today.
If you find yourself in need of legal representation, it can be a very stressful time in your life. In my career, I have dealt with thousands of lawyers, I've dealt with thousands of law firms, and I can confidently recommend to you Keith M. Davidson at kmdlaw.com. Available 24 hours, 7 days a week. Just log into kmdlaw.com. That's kmdlaw.com. Or you can call toll-free 833-4KMD-LAW. That's 833-4KMD-LAW. Personal injury, wrongful death, STDs, sexual assault, car accidents. They handle it all efficiently and professionally. It doesn't matter how imposing the opposition may be, because the team at kmdlaw.com are battle-tested and fierce. They will not stop until justice prevails. Go to kmdlaw.com or call toll-free 833-4KMD-LAW. If you're in for the fight of your life, stop screwing around and contact KMD Law. PureSoapFlakes.com. 218-568-2525. Have you ever heard of Castile Soap? Pure Soap Flake Company handcrafts fine soap bars, laundry powder, and concentrated soap flakes using organic vegetable oils from their northern Minnesota facility. Bathe your body and wash your clothes with pure soap products that are free of fragrance, GMOs, palm oil, sodium lauryl sulfate, and synthetic additives. Keep it clean, folks. Pure Soap Flake Company products are kind to living creatures and sensitive skin, safe for drains and waterways, and work great in high-efficiency washers and top and front-loading machines. They have a little promotion going on. Contact them to order some soap. Mention the Opperman Report. You're going to get a free gift. They're going to send a little extra soap, travel size, soap bars and laundry soap, cleaning soap flakes. I've been using that stuff all day long today. Great stuff. Order today at puresoapflakes.com or give them a call, 218-568-2525. 218-568-2525. Pure Soap Flake Company is a proud member of the Handcrafted Soap and Cosmetic Guild.